If we're promoting to the one thing we're good at or the one thing we want to be good at, then we will start attracting those clients. We can still see other people. But I think I've said this before, never promote to the thing you do not want. So we've got to be really clear about what we want, a clear scope, a clear understanding of where we're going with our practice. Okay, we've talked about business. We've talked about getting the money to align, making sure that we don't have peaks and troughs as much. We've talked about that. What we're talking about now is practice.
Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes, because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group, where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite-Sized Podcast. How the devil are you? So, actually, I'm in a new dress. I look like I'm in prison garb. I should just be wearing a normal old blouse, shouldn't I really? It's a bit weird having stripes. Just an aside, if you happen to be looking at me in the Facebook group or in YouTube, then you'll see I'm in, obviously, my prison dress today with my blue and white stripes. Didn't realise. Anyway, now, where were we? Sorry about that. I shouldn't be looking at myself. And that's kind of a bit about what we're talking about in January, isn't it? It's all about making sure that we're really reconnecting. We're reconnecting with ourselves. We're reconnecting with our practice, but not just our business. Okay, because this business is one side and practice is the other side, isn't it, of what we do. So we're still in January. So we're still talking about reset and recommit, okay, without pressure. So we've gone through a number of things already. And now here we are, end of the month. And I guess I have a couple of announcements to make. One is that the Confident Practitioner community, I'm going to start doing my lives. They're going to be on a Monday, on my working day. And there's going to be one a month. So they'll be after or before. We'll have to figure out the timing. But they're going to be on the first, preferably, when it can happen, the first Monday of the month. Now, that doesn't always work because there's Easter and stuff like that. But I'm going to be online anyway because I'm with my Monday group. So it seems like a good day to come back in and look at the past, look at the month that's gone, and look at the month ahead, and maybe discuss some of the things that happened in the group, some of the questions that were asked, so that you get that update as well. So if you haven't been over there in a while, best hop on over there and you'll see that the time that I've chosen the day, time still to be decided. It'll be after my group. So I'll do the live after my group. So there we go. I've just decided. Works like that, doesn't it? So how are we recommitting to our practice, right? I mean, Christmas really is well and truly over. The summer is not over by any means here in Australia. I'm sitting here, I'm really hot, which is why I'm in this blouse rather than my normal comfy blouse that I've been wearing for the last few episodes. But, there's a lot to think about. And we're about to get into February. We're about to start changing again. Kids are back at school. Things return to the normal kind of grind, I guess, if it hasn't already for you. And what is the difference between the end of January and the beginning of February? I mean, really, is there that much difference? Yes, the trades are now back. I now have my tradesmen back. I've been on a holiday. I went on a cycling holiday in New Zealand. So at my mum's funeral, a friend that I often stayed with when I was going over to visit her at the funeral, she said, let's go on a cycling holiday. And I was like, yeah, sure, fine, great, whatever. And then got on and did all the things she said and paid the fee ages ago. And then, of course, it got round to it. In January, my hubby's like, have we done anything about this? Pay the deposit. I was like, oh, yeah, I've hired a car. I've booked the flights. Better plan some other places to stay. So I did all those things. And we had a lovely holiday. But I mean, I don't normally necessarily holiday in the school holidays. She's a school teacher. So I had to holiday in the school holidays, which rather messed up a few other things that I hadn't taken into account, like board meetings and things. But anyway, oops. When we think about our practice, so obviously while I'm away, while I'm cycling in the South Island, I have no internet. I can't work with anybody. They can't work with me because I don't have internet. I'm not stopping at places that have. I'm on an actual holiday. So here's me talking in January. Let's reconnect. Let's think about, what can we let go of? What can be karma? What can, all the things that you've already heard. Now we've got to recommit to work because we're about to hit February. And if we haven't been reconnected, if we haven't recommitted, we now have to take that step. All right. So that's like me going, okay, I'm going to start my next level group, my Monday clinical group, also known as the next level group. That's what its original name was. Everything's back. February's back. The groups are back. I have to be back. So I'll start doing my lives again. That will be the Monday I choose. I need to spend a bit more time in the Facebook group. Not that keen on social media, I've got to be honest. So I actually have to make the effort to go into social media. So this will be good for me, and that I will go in on that first Monday and I will go in and reconnect with everybody, and I will do that live. And so when I recommit, we recommit to why we do the thing as well, don't we? So 2025, as you know, was full on for me. I really was committed to my business and uncommitted to my practice. I had to totally let lots of things go because I was toing and froing, 2024, 2025. So there were total signs that I drifted away from my practice values. And you may be feeling that as well. You may be looking back at your values. That's part of checking what we were doing and going over what we're doing is, what are our practice values? Where are we trying to align? And what are we aligned with now? What is your recommitment looking like? So mine is now I'm working a full Monday. Oh, except when I was away, the unexpected yet expected holiday to New Zealand. What are we recommitting to? So our boundaries, big one. How are we fitting those systems in place? Do we have fewer clients? That's one thing that I have totally done is I have got fewer clients. You can have one-to-ones with me. As you know, I do the 90-day program. So you can do the one-to-ones with me, but I'm not out there pushing. It's the people who listen to the podcast and the people in the group who will know about my offerings. And they're not many. Clients can see me one-to-one over a 90-day period. My mentees can see me over a 90-day period, one-to-one. Past mentees can come back for the odd one. Past clients can come back for the odd one, but they're the only ones. I have to have those boundaries so that I can contain the clients where I want to contain them, and I can choose who I want to see. I have a much clearer scope because of it. So is your scope clear? Are you looking at your alignment? Are you aligned with those values that you set? And it also will give you stronger clinical confidence, which you might think, how is that going to give me stronger clinical confidence? Well, if you just treat people with hormonal issues, but acne, okay? So you're saying to people, I'm treating women who have acne, who therefore have hormonal issues, but the acne is what I'm promoting. I'm going to find out about the hormonal issues when I'm treating them. So my clinical focus is very aligned, and I'm going to get really good at that one thing. I'm going to get really good at that. And so my clinical confidence will become greater. Okay. Rather than being a jack of all trades, if we're promoting to the one thing we're good at or the one thing we want to be good at, then we will start attracting those clients. We can still see other people. But I think I've said this before, never promote to the thing you do not want. So even in my T's and C's, it says, I do not see these particular clients. And if you do book in with me, I will see you. I will give you dietary advice, but I will also refer you on. Okay. So we've got to be really clear about what we want, a clear scope, a clear understanding of where we're going with our practice. Okay. We've talked about business. We've talked about getting the money to align, making sure that we don't have peaks and troughs as much. We've talked about that. What we're talking about now is practice, okay, and creating that stronger clinical confidence. It might be that you want to do a few extra webinars in that area, a few extra trainings, not a retrain. You don't have to learn something entirely new, but you might find that there's some focus study that you want to do. And it might be something you do by yourself. You don't even have to pay for it, and you will still get, as long as you're taking notes and you're making sure that you're up to date and you've kept all the information, then you still get CPE or CPD points for that. So when we recommit, it doesn't have to be dramatic. It's not fireworks on New Year's Eve. It's not huge. It's just sitting down and going, hey, where is my alignment? And it's just quiet. It's consistent. Okay. Consistency is really a big key to what we do when you're going online. So I've now committed to doing the first Monday of the month with variations depending on public holidays. And I will do that on a Monday afternoon. And I go in and I will change the header on the Facebook page to show there's maybe I'll create events in there so that people know when they are and they get reminded. I will see how we go. But we want to end January feeling really grounded, don't we? We don't want to feel exhausted. We don't want to feel overwhelmed already. I mean, there's a whole other 11 months waiting ahead of us. We want to start enjoying what we do. We need to be reconnected with our practice, with all those original ideas and thoughts and desires that we had way back in the beginning when we went to college to learn how to do this and the reasons why we decided to do this. So what kind of practitioner do I want to be by December? Not just by the end of January, not just by the end of February or March, but rather by December. What are my goals? Hopefully last time you got your calendar out like I do and you sat down and you wrote out the calendar so you know when significant things are happening, which means that you can look at it and go, well, these are the holidays I'm going to take. I'm not going to be earning any money then. This is how I'm going to pay for this. This is the money I need to bring in. We work out those numbers. And it means that we can really look to December and we can say, what's that line? I did actually write that down. So what kind of practitioner do I want to be by December, not just this month? Okay, it's a biggie really, isn't it? It's rather than I've got this meditation that I used to do with people. I haven't done it for a really long time, where you envisage 1 year's time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time. You actually take a channel up to the planet and you come back down, you go up to the moon and you come back down to your future self and you talk to your future self and you ask your future self questions and you ask your future self, what would I tell my past self? And that's great. It works really well. The visualization's probably in my Vimeo channel somewhere. I don't think it's on my YouTube. I don't think we need a visualization for this because we're looking forward to December and we're going, where is it? I want to be by December. I want to be working, 3 days a week. I want to see 15 clients a week. I want to be, are those things? And write them down. Have them as that focus. Okay. So what is it? Like, I want this year to feel supported. Yeah, you want to feel supported this year maybe because last year you felt heavy, you felt overwhelmed. And there's a couple of ways you can do that with me. Obviously, you can do the Monday group with me so that you get that support through the month. You can have one-to-ones with me. You can just have a simple focus call with me. I'm here to help. All right. So we need to look forward. We need to think about that focus. We need to think about that future. What is going to happen by December? And that's planning. That's looking. That's writing it down, your pros and cons, your elevations, all the rest of it. What am I going to, and how am I going to get the help that I need? Because it's a good idea to talk these things out with people. You and me, right? We're both capable practitioners. All right. You might be only just at the end of your student journey. You might be a student. You might be 10 years in. You might be someone who's coming back into practice. But we've listened to all the noise out there and the noise is constant. I did have a one-to-one with someone the other week and she was like, should I buy this system? Should I buy this system? I'm like, no, you have all the system. We just need to align again. We need to reconnect with your focus. We need to think, why did you start doing this? And where are we going with this? What is the future with your practice? Okay. Is it that you want to be in practice? Do you want to be in practice? And if you do, where is that focus? And let's get you aligned. And it's the same for you, I think. We want to feel grounded, not exhausted. We don't want to feel overwhelmed as the year carries on. We don't want to start overwhelmed. And that's why it helps when you've got just a snatch of time to be able to sit down and set those boundaries, set the calendar in place, and really look to the future. Where do I want to be in December? How do I want to be in December? How do I want to feel in December? I've told the story many, many times. So it got to July and I always used to think to myself, nobody loved me. I took it totally personally. I'm a terrible practitioner. I've got nobody booking in. And then my husband, after about year 3 of me doing this, maybe even 4, turned around and said, didn't you say that last year? I was like, oh, maybe I didn't. I looked back through the diary, physical diary, back through the physical diary. He used to get them free from one of the reps. And I had these diaries and I get them. They were all there. And of course, there would July be empty because everyone in South Australia goes to Bali in July. They're not here to have their appointments. So we started taking July holiday. I mean, I cancelled out of the summer. I haven't worked December or January. I put about 3 days in December I work. I shouldn't say that because we have 2 sessions, 2 Monday clinical group sessions in December, but we don't have anything in January. Normally we have 1. I went on a cycling holiday that I'd kind of forgotten about and agreed to, but I paid for a year in advance. So it was wonderful. It's hardly any cost when I got there. It's fab. But we do have to think, where am I with this? Where am I going to be in December? I want to leave you with that thought. I want to leave you with the thought, where am I going to be? Where do I want to be? And how am I going to get to my perfect December this year? Where am I going to plan it out? Where am I going to change things? So I'm going to leave it there. I'm looking forward to seeing you in my lives in Confident Practitioner community. So you will hopefully have already seen the rejiggings in there, and you'll be looking forward to catching up with me, just as I'll be looking forward to catching up with you on the 2nd of February. That will be my first one for 2026. So I look forward to catching up with you then in the group. And if you've stayed to the end, 5-star review, thanks. Scroll down, it's all there. And tell your friends about the podcast. Maybe share the link with someone you know, with another practitioner. That'd be really helpful. I'll put it in the Facebook group. That'd be really helpful too. I hope you have a good one. Look after yourself, and I will look forward to chatting with you again in the group and again in February. Cheers. See ya. Actually, I should have said, shouldn't I, not just see ya, but have a brilliant rest of day and look after yourself. Bye.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.